This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We're honored to continue and share the teachings of the founding father of science of epigenetics, Dr. Joel Wallach. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We're honored to continue and share the teachings of the founding father of science of epigenetics, Dr. Joel Wallach.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Daily with Doc and Becca, where we simplify health and empower you to take control of your own wellness journey. Well, it's Friday, folks. You know what that is. That means it is Pharmacist Friday with the one and only Pharmacist Ben Fuchs. So joining us from Colorado, Ben is a registered pharmacist, nutritionist, skin health innovator, and with over 30 years experience in pharmacy, biochemistry, nutritional science. But what makes Ben different? He doesn't just talk about managing symptoms. He teaches how the body actually works at the cellular level. So as the founder of Truth Treatments and the host of his own show, Side Radio program, which he's also Pharmacist Ben Bites on Monday with our own coach, AJ. He has dedicated his career to helping people understand the power of foundational nutrition, strategic supplementation, and smart chemistry. He bridges the gap between traditional pharmacy and holistic wellness, making complex science simple and practical. So every Friday we have Pharmacist Fridays, and Ben is here to help us connect the dots between nutrition, medication, biochemistry, and real-world health challenges so that you can make an informed decision for yourself and your family. So grab your notebook and let's get ready, as we're going to be doing Q&A today with Pharmacist Ben Fuchs. So folks, if you were invited to this program by somebody specific, they are your person and number one contact whenever you have questions in regards to anything on the Daily with Doc programs or Pharmacist Ben Bites. They cared enough about you, so take the time, get back with them, and say thank you. Chances are they may be one of our amazing health coaches, as this program is a resource for an incredible community of health-minded individuals who are actually taking the initiative to help their communities find a better health journey. So make sure that you're supporting them. And if you found us on your own and you would like to get in contact with a certified holistic health coach, I do have a team sitting by, waiting for your call at 855-949-3377 around the clock. So without further ado, I am going to welcome Pharmacist Ben Fuchs to the screen with me. Hello, Pharmacist Ben. You know, Fridays are one of my favorite days, and it's not, thank goodness it's Friday because the week is over. It's because we have Pharmacist Friday.
Oh, that's very kind of you. Thank you. And that was a great introduction. Where did you get that from? I didn't write that.
No, you did not write that.
No,
I wrote that with
that's
help
good.
from a friend.
Yeah, a good friend. Okay, good. Well, I couldn't argue a bit with it. Sounded perfect. Whoever that was knows me well.
Wonderful, wonderful. So today we're going to be doing Q&A.
Yes.
So if you're here live with us in the audience or watching us live and you have a question, we would love for you to put that into the chat. Or if you're here live in the Zoom, which you're welcome to join us, raise your hand. So go to that option where it says raise hand from the Zoom menu, and let's make sure that we get your questions answered. So I've got several questions coming in. Some of them are here live with us in the Zoom, and I want to make sure that I don't miss any of them. So if the team could put them in our spot so I could find them easily, that would be fantastic. Pharmacist Ben, let's go with the first one that is coming from Connie, who is here in the Zoom with us. So I'm going to go ahead and
can we put Connie on?
Let's get Connie on. Yes, Connie, if you could unmute yourself.
Yes. Am I unmuted? Hi, Ben.
Hi, Connie.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Good to see you.
Good.
Or not see you, as the case may be.
So, Connie, what is your question for Pharmacist Ben?
Yes, I've been taking levothyroxine for many years and want to wean myself off of it, but the physician I spoke with, my doctor substitute, and his English was not very good, basically told me I could not stay alive without it. And so he couldn't give me a
where's your doctor? Will you put your doctor? Can you put your doctor on, please?
No, he's
give him a call. I want to put him on. I want to talk to him to his face because I don't want to talk behind people's back. But I'm going to say some very not nice things.
Okay,
I'm just kidding.
I love my doctor. She's on medical leave. Won't be back.
Oh,
I'm talking about. I saw her.
No doctor should ever say something like that. First of all, second of all, Connie, you sound like a smart lady. I can't see you, but I'm going to assume you're a smart lady. Okay. What is levothyroxine doing for you?
I think.
No, not I think. What is it doing for you?
Nothing that I know of.
So why are you taking it?
According to my doctor, it's keeping me alive.
No, I'm asking you though. What is it doing for you? Are you a new woman? You're jumping for joy. You're completely healthy. Everything's working out with your health now that you've taken the levothyroxine.
Well, I've been taking it for so long, I can't tell you any difference.
And that's my point. You know, we take these things because we're told to take them. Do you? Right. Let me ask. And I don't mean to. I'm only using you as an example because you're Paul. I want everybody to listen, but I'm certainly not picking on you. But I want to use this. I want to make this a teaching moment. Okay. So, how does levothyroxine work?
That's a good question.
Perfect answer. Perfect answer. And the reason I want to make this a teaching moment is because we're just doing things because we're told. Do you notice how when we do a phone call, a Zoom call on Becca and I or AJ and I, we do Zoom calls, I'll take like 2 questions for the whole hour or 3 questions for the whole hour. Do you know why that happens? It's because I want to walk you through everything. I want you to know everything, and you should know everything. It's your body. What's more important to us than our bodies? Our money? No. Our family? No. You don't have a body, you're not going to have a family. You know, the body's the most intimate and important thing in our lives, and we need to know everything we can possibly know about it. And so when a doctor says something like you're going to die without it, if we don't know the body, we think we're going to die without it because he's a doctor. But I'm here to tell you, they don't know. They're just doing things they were told to do for the most part. Every once in a while, you'll find a doctor who really understands what's going on, but it's rare. So here's how it works, Connie. First of all, you should know that every year in the top 3 or 4 best-selling drugs, you'll find levothyroxine. So you're in good company.
Good.
It's a best-selling drug, levothyroxine. Well, that tells you a couple things. First of all, it tells you everybody's got thyroid problems, or at least a lot of people have thyroid problems. It's a major problem. Now, what does the thyroid do? It does everything. The thyroid is your gas pedal for every single cell in your body. Every single cell in your body does what it does by virtue of the action of thyroid hormone. So your heart cells, heart, your skin cells, skin, your bone cells, bone, your intestinal cells, intestine, your spleen cells, spleen, your lung cells, lung, your brain cells, brain, because of thyroid hormone. Can you see how important that is?
Yes.
Okay. So you don't have a thyroid hormone problem. And this is why this is the silliest, among the silliest drugs in the entire formulary. It's not a relatively toxic drug. It's not a problem necessarily, which is why doctors feel comfortable just prescribing it willy-nilly, because it's not going to really do anything. See, your problem is your gland, not your hormone. The gland makes the hormone, so they think, okay, well, because the gland's not working correctly, we're just going to give you the hormone to make up for the hormone that's not being made by the gland. But the problem's not the hormone, it's the gland. Are you with me?
Yes.
It's the structure, it's the tissue, it's the thing that's making the hormone, not the hormone. They're trying to give you the hormone because they don't, well, excuse my French, they don't know what the hell else to do because they don't know how to fix the thyroid. I'm going to tell you how to fix the thyroid here in a second, but the problem is that everybody out there, I'm sure if there's 50 people listening, 5 or 6 are on thyroid hormone. That's how common it is. Because they don't know how to fix the gland, they just give the hormone. What would you rather do? Have the gland and let the body make the hormone, or would you take the hormone? Well, you know, obviously, yeah, because here's the thing about hormones. They fluctuate with the events of your life, with the experiences of your life. The hormones are the mediators, the bridge, mediators like a bridge between your environment and your chemistry. The body has to have a way of responding to the environment, right? So it gets hot, you got to cool down. It gets cold, you got to warm up. You put food in your stomach, the food's got to get digested. You put tiger is it at your front door, you got to run. You know, in other words, the body has to respond to the environment, and it responds via the hormones. So the hormones have to have some flexibility. Are you with me?
Yes.
They got to go up and down. They got to fluctuate based on what's happening in your life. This is the problem with hormone replacement therapy of all kinds. Usually when we think of hormone replacement therapy, we think of female and male hormones for as we get older, but thyroid hormone is hormone replacement therapy. And the problem with hormone replacement therapy is A, it doesn't allow the body to fluctuate or tailor its response to the environment. Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Yes.
And B, you haven't solved the darn problem, which is the gland. But the doctors don't know how to solve the gland because of this model that says the problem is where I see it. AJ, where's the problem? It's at the root, not the fruit. You with me, Connie?
Yes.
The doctors can't help you because the apple's already rotten, and they're looking at the apple. Once the apple's rotten, what are you going to do? You can't do anything. It's rotten already. You got to go to the soil. And this is what doctors do not do. And I'm not blaming them. I'm not saying they're stupid. I'm not saying they're mean. That's just not what they do. They don't, that's not their job. Their job is to just fix what you see. But that's why the model fails. That's why we have more cardiologists than ever before. We got more heart disease than ever before. We got more oncologists than ever before. We got more cancer than ever before. We got more immunologists than ever before. We got more autoimmune disease than ever before. And nobody's getting better. They're at best, they're being staved off. So what's the answer? The answer is to work on the thyroid. But you can't work on the thyroid by working on the thyroid. You got to go downstream or upstream behind the thyroid. Are you with me?
Yes.
First of all, major clue. The vast majority of thyroid patients are women. Did you know this?
Well, my gynecologist put me on it probably 45, 50 years ago.
It's a female problem largely. And by the way, most chronic disease is female issues. Did you know this? Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, autoimmune disease, thyroid disease. These are all female issues. What is the distinguishing feature biochemically between men and women? The major distinguishing feature. Estrogen. Exactly, estrogen. And it's no accident that women will become hypothyroid, particularly after menopause. So The secret is in the estrogen, which in turn implicates the adrenal glands. There is something called the HPA thyroid axis. I call it the adrenal thyroid complex. And as AJ will tell you, it's the third point on the triangle of disease. Are you familiar with the triangle of disease, Connie?
No.
I don't think I've seen Connie before. Have you been on a call before, or I don't think I've seen you or heard
Oh,
you.
I probably met you about 30 years ago. So
okay, got it.
It's been a while.
Okay. So the triangle of disease, and this is very important for anybody who's dealing with a health challenge, are the 3 points of bodily breakdown that lead to everything else. And these 3 points are foundational to all other diseases. Everything. 3 points are the digestive system, the metabolic system, which you could think of as the blood sugar system, and the HPA, I'll tell you what that means here in a second, thyroid axis, or the adrenal thyroid axis, however you want to call it. HPA, by the way, stands for hypothalamus pituitary adrenal. And it's just, it just implies the brain's relationship to the adrenal glands. All you really need to know is about the adrenals, the adrenal thyroid axis.
Right.
The major reason for thyroid problems, the most immediate reason for thyroid problems involves the adrenal glands, which make both stress hormone and female hormone, or reproductive hormone. So right away, we know that the thyroid is related to your adrenal hormones. And when your adrenal glands are under great duress, adrenal glands give you quick energy, emergency energy. Is this making sense, Connie? They give you right? The thyroid gives you steady state energy. Those are 2 generators of energy you could think of as. The thyroid gives you energy for day-to-day regular functioning. And the adrenal glands, I'm being very simplistic here, but this gets the point across. The thyroid gives you regular day-to-day energy. The adrenals give you emergency energy. When you're running on emergency energy, under a lot of stress, we'll say, running on emergency energy, and by the way, estrogen acts like a stress hormone, the thyroid will slow down to compensate. Does that make sense? If you're running really fast, the thyroid will kind of slow down, so you don't go too fast. It's a compensating mechanism. So the first cause of hypothyroidism is excess adrenal activity, adrenal duress, long-term adrenal duress. That's the first point. These are the triangle. You got 3 points. The second cause of hypothyroidism is metabolic. It's blood sugar issues. And everybody, almost nobody doesn't have blood sugar issues once they reach a certain point in age, which explains how common hypothyroidism is. And the third point is the digestive system. The digestive system plays a major role in thyroid health. And one of the things the digestive system does is it turns weak thyroid hormone into strong thyroid hormone. You have 2 thyroid hormones. You have one that's weak, mild, gentle, and then you have the real stuff. Technically, they call them T4 and T3. Have you heard those terms?
Oh, of course.
Okay, good. So T4 and T3. T4 is weak, T3 is strong. And the T4 is converted into T3 in the intestine. Okay? So the 3 points to work on, and the reason why doctors can't do it is because they don't do, this is not what they do, not because they're dumb, not because they're mean, not because they're trying to hurt anybody. That's not what they do. You work backwards to the adrenal glands, and you start working on stress, on nutrients that are specific for the adrenal glands, stabilizing blood sugar. I'll tell you how to do these here in a minute. I'm just giving you a big picture here. The second element is you stabilize the sugar. You keep your blood sugar stable. You keep your insulin low, fasting, ketogenic diet, all those kinds of things. And then the third point is the digestive system, working on digestive health. Now, to compound the problem, the digestive system, when it breaks down, is going to affect the thyroid. It's going to impact thyroid health negatively. When you're under insulin resistance and high blood sugar and all the blood sugar issues that most of us deal with, that's going to affect the thyroid negatively. And when you're under adrenal duress and the adrenal glands are cranking out cortisol, that's going to impact the thyroid negatively. But here's where it becomes really problematic. The thyroid also regulates the digestive system and the intestinal system and the adrenal glands. So once your thyroid is inhibited or suppressed, or you have hypothyroidism, That's going to negatively impact the digestive system again. That's going to negatively impact the blood sugar system. That's going to negatively impact the adrenal glands. And you'll get this vicious downward spiral where it keeps getting worse and worse and worse. Are you with me?
Yes.
This is why it's so important to nip it in the bud at the 3 points of the digestive system, the blood sugar system, and the adrenal glands. Your levothyroxine is doing none of that. Nothing for that. Not only that, but levothyroxine is T4. It's the weak thyroid hormone. They're not even giving you the good stuff. And because you have an impairment at the level of the digestive system, you're going to have difficulties converting it. So you're not only not taking care of the gland, you're not even getting the right hormone. Nobody's doing anything for you. Now, here's where it becomes a really big problem. I'm sorry, let me just finish this up real quick. You're running high risk for heart disease. You're running high risk for skin problems, for accelerated aging, for bone deterioration, for joint deterioration, for mental health issues, for dementias and cognitive decline issues, and all these things because the thyroid's controlling all that, and nobody's taking care of it. See what I'm saying? We want to fix the, yes, wow is right. It's so rude. It's so unfair. That's why I was teasing you. I wanted to put your doctor on here so we can teach him. So he doesn't have to do this to other patients. Call him up or her up. Tell her to come on the call. Let's talk. It's not right. And you said, how old did you say you were, Connie?
I'm 72.
Okay. Well, now's the time. You got to get going, girl. You got to get going. And that thyroid hormone is not helping you. So what do you want to do? What's the solutions? First of all, you work backwards. And you always do this. This is the same thing we talk about all the time. And I'm sure people are out there, putting their finger down their throat, throwing up here, because I'm saying it all the darn time. You got to work on the digestive system, the intestinal system. The bacteria, for one thing, are converting the T4 into T3. The bacteria are also helping you eliminate estrogen, which is a very important player. And make no mistake about it, even if you're 72, you're still making estrogen. Estrogen, as long as you have body fat, you're making estrogen. And estrogen is also being made out of the adrenals. So you got to work on the gut, intestinal health. I don't know. I haven't asked you about intestinal problems, and you may know, you may not know, but it's next to it is impossible for you not to have intestinal problems, simply because the thyroid regulates the intestine. If you're hypothyroid, you're going to have sluggish bowels. Are you with me?
Yeah, and my digestive issues were compromised by chemotherapy about 11 years ago.
Well, you look, but the hypothyroidism caused the cancer, or not caused the cancer, but was related to the cancer. All of this is happening because the thyroid is the gland that controls everything. So work on digestive. To cut to the chase, I wanted you to see the mechanism. I want everybody to see the mechanism here because it's so common and so important, not just for the thyroid, but for everything else. So you got to work on digestive health. That's the first thing. And we have a food diary. I suggest you get on, get a copy of the food diary and start doing the food diary as soon as you can. You might want to consider I-26. I didn't ask you about digestive symptoms, but I imagine you have bloating and gas.
No.
Well,
no, I had chronic diarrhea.
Okay. Do you have your gallbladder and all your organs?
I do not have my gallbladder or ovaries.
Okay. Well, you're like Muhammad Ali in the ring with one hand tied behind your back. So it's going to be a little bit difficult, but you can do it. So you got to work on the food thing. Diarrhea means that your intestine is chronically irritated.
Mm-hmm.
If the intestine is chronically irritated, that means A, you're not going to be absorbing your nutrients, right? So you're going to be functionally starving. And B, you're going to be dealing with a condition called leaky gut, which you probably heard of that, leaky gut.
Yes.
Okay. And that leads to everything else. So you can see how the intestine is the key to everything. A, because that's where nutrients are absorbed, and you're dealing with if you have chronic diarrhea, you're dealing with malnutrition. Can you see why?
Mm-hmm.
You're not, okay. And B, you're dealing with toxicity on top of not having a functioning thyroid. The problem's not the thyroid, my dear. The problem is in the intestine. Now, because first of all, if you had your gallbladder taken out, that tells me that you had gallstones, I imagine, correct?
No, they removed it when they removed the tumor. Colon cancer.
Oh, colon cancer. They just in case they thought it spread or something?
They didn't wake me up and ask me.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. Okay. All right. Well, in any case, that's the core of everything. The gallbladder bile plays a major role in blood sugar control, in addition to being important for absorbing nutrients. So that's where your blood sugar issues are going to come from. So you got to work on digestive health. We've got a whole slew of products for that. You say you don't have gas and bloating. I can't imagine that's not the, I'm not saying you're lying or anything. I'm just saying you might not be noticing it, because it's very difficult to have chronic diarrhea and not have disturbances in the bacteria, which would lead to gas and bloating. So it may be that you're just not noticing it because it's going under the radar. So
no, I'm doing a good gut protocol with the I-26 and enzymes and
okay,
sweeties.
good. Yeah, then
so,
you sounds like you've already been talking to people. So that's good. Stay on that whole protocol. The intestine is the key to everything. The next step is going to be your blood sugar system. I would be going ketogenic diet. I'd be using the healthy blood sugar pack, or at least the sweeties, ultimate selenium, ultimate niacin. If you're not on the FucoidZ, I would do that too.
Okay.
And then the third thing is going to involve the adrenal glands. I don't want you to start taking too many things. So leave it at that for supplements. And that's plenty, and that'll make a big difference. But what you can do is, and then you should be doing this, is practice slow, deep breathing, relaxation strategies to activate what's called, and I don't know if you've heard this term, the parasympathetic nervous system or the vagus nervous system. Have you heard those terms? Yes.
Yeah.
You want to activate those as much as possible because you're running on adrenal energy. So you probably have insomnia and jitteriness and all those other things too, because you're running on adrenal energy. You follow me?
Yes, I do. Interesting.
Yeah. So what you want to do is you want to calm down the adrenal glands. Now, you see, we didn't even mention the thyroid here, did we?
No.
Nothing you could do. Nothing you could do for the thyroid. But the
Has it atrophied because I've been taking
that can happen. Absolutely, that can happen. We don't want to go there necessarily. You should be okay if you do everything else. But I want everybody to understand that this is not because doctors are bad, but they focus on the parts of the body they see. This is a fundamental flaw in medicine. But we still go back to them. We still go back to the doctor. What's the definition of insanity?
over and over again.
And expecting different results. Exactly. It's not, I really want to emphasize that it's not because they're bad people or dumb people. It's because the model focuses on the gland or the area they see that's messed up. And when you think about it, if you understand the doctor's mandate, it makes sense because the doctor's mandate is to keep you alive, which is a good thing, right? It's not to help you thrive. It's not to give you tremendous energy and joie de vivre and resilience and resistance to disease and spectacular growth and repair and anti-aging. It's to keep you alive. That's their goal. And that's why they focus on these individual parts. But if you want more than just being alive, which we all do, it's great to be alive, but we deserve more. It's not in the doctor's wheelhouse to do that. But you can do it yourself. So you got to focus, and I'm glad you're on the enzymes and the I-26. Sounds like somebody's been talking to you because that's right on. But really, you want to see which foods are causing problems, and you want to make sure you're addressing those. And then you want to do things that can soothe the intestine. One of the things that happens when your gallbladder is removed, and this is why doctors feel comfortable removing gallbladders. One of the things that happens is you have the gallbladder is like a little bag of bile, and it squirts out bile into the intestine when you eat fatty foods, which most people know, and then that's how you absorb your fatty nutrients. But there's a secondary tube that runs from the gallbladder to the intestine that's always running. It's a very little tube. It's a duct. Mm-hmm. And the doctors feel like you have enough bile coming through the duct. It's not true. That's just what they think. But here's where the problem becomes. When you don't have a gallbladder, that duct that's running from your liver to the gallbladder or liver to the intestine is constantly running. So you're constantly running with a stream of bile into your intestine. There's a constant steady stream of bile going into the intestine. That irritates the intestine. And the way the body addresses this irritation is by flooding the intestine with water. And that's your chronic diarrhea. You with me?
Yes. So
what you need to be doing is you need to be soothing the intestine. And that's where your FucoidZ comes from. And you're also doing a couple other things, I-26 and such. Those are going to have a soothing effect for the intestine. You might want to try, if you want to do a few more things, the collagen peptides. Those can also have a soothing effect. Aloe vera, can have a soothing effect as well. Calming everything down at the level of the intestine is going to be in your interest. Excuse me. So you're going to focus on digestion, eliminate problem foods, and then work on your blood sugar. And then anything you do to relax the body, to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the best thing is slow, deep, rhythmic breathing. Okay?
Okay. So can I cold turkey off the medication?
It's not doing you any good. You're not going to notice it, but work with your doctor on that. But there's no reason not to. It's not really doing much good. Yeah, it's not doing much good for you. If you do want to take something, and I'm not a big believer in hormone therapy, but ask the doctor gives you T3 instead of T4.
Okay.
Okay. Hang on.
Well, when she's back from her medical leave.
Yeah, ask her about T3. Hey, I'm doing a Zoom call. Yolanda or Ray, can you call in a little bit? Okay, thanks, guys. Sorry.
No worries. All right. Thank you so much, Connie, for coming on.
Did all that make sense? Did all that make sense, you guys?
It was great, Ben. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Connie. Yeah, it's a really important subject because it's such a common problem. Thank you. Okay. Who's next?
All right, Pharmacist Ben, let's go over to your buddy AJ as he has a question as well.
AJ.
Pharmacist Ben, I don't have a question.
Oh.
Marilyn suggested that I share something with you, and I just hope Ruth Ellen and Becca don't choke me. You ready?
Uh-oh. I don't know if I'm going to want to hear it.
You ready to hear this?
Yeah, let's see. Okay.
That rotten apple on the branch, it ain't the real disease. The doctor's painting over it, ignoring what's beneath. It's in the soil of your gut, the sugar in the flow. You gotta fix the dirty root if you want the tree to grow.
Wow.
Fix the fruit, fix the root. Yeah, don't fix the fruit, fix the root.
Damn.
All right.
I think you need to have AI vacation. You're going nuts on that. You're going crazy, man. That's good though. No, that's really good. That's good. Thank you. The fruit, not the root.
Playground. This is his playground. You can't take the playground
and he's
away
good.
from the boy.
And he's very, very good. Very good at it.
Yes, yes, he is. All right, let's go to the next question. And the next question, we actually have a couple of people that are dealing with chronic coughs from congestion. One of them has been tested to make sure that it's not pneumonia, it's not the C word, but it's been going on for 4 weeks. They don't have the flu. 100 pounds, 72 years old. What's
the set? Let's do them both together. Let's do them both together. What was the other one?
Okay. The other one is cough and congestion, and that's all the information I have for that person.
Right.
That person about 15 years
so,
younger.
So assuming it's not infectious and there's no bacteria, which that's what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
What else would cause congestion? Congestion. Let's back up. What is congestion? What's the purpose of congestion?
Well, you've got some type. You've got a foreign invader in there.
But what does congestion do?
It gets all mucusy and keeps you from being able to breathe.
No. What's the benefit of congestion? Why would the body congest? What's the purpose of it?
Right, and it's trying to capture something.
Yes.
Further into the body.
Absolutely. It's a brilliant system. One of the ways the body protects itself is by slime. Remember Ghostbusters? Remember the slime? They slime this, right?
Yes.
That's what the body does. The body will slime things away. That's the slime. The job of mucus is to slime things away. So congestion is, as you accurately said, Rebecca, a sign of protection. So if you have, we're working logically here. We're not working doctor, medicine, science, you have to be Dr. Science to understand it's just logic. If you have something the body is protecting itself from and it's causing distress, like you're coughing and you're congested, you can't breathe, what's the logical answer if you want to end that defensive response or end that protective response, just logically?
Get rid of what's causing it.
The offending agent. If you have a defensive response, you got an offending agent. It's just logic, right? If you have defense, you got to have offense. The body wouldn't be mounting a defensive response unless there was an offending agent. Now, bacteria, microbes, infectious material, that could be a problem, but she's checked for that. So we clear that. We got rid of that. That's not going to happen. That's not the case. So what else can do? Well, what is the main trigger from a biochemical perspective? The main trigger of congestion? Histamine. We know this because when we're clogged up in April, when the pollen comes out, what do we take?
Antihistamines.
Antihistamine, right? And that dries us out. That's what antihistamines do. They dry you out. So the problem's histamine, and antihistamines dry you out. Where is most of the histamine in the body produced? You suppose?
Digestive system.
Hello? Of course. That's your immune organ. That's where the enemy gets into the body. Now, you do have some in the lungs too. And between the lungs and the, you have in your eyes, you have wherever you have those kind of, all that kind of secretions and snottiness, and it's in the ears, the respiratory tract. It's histamine. The main trigger of histamine is not pollen. It's not mold. It's not mites, although those are triggers of histamine for sure. But the main trigger of histamine is going to be digestive. And there are people, by the way, I have a good friend, and you know who he is. And he's always going, every time he talks. And it never dawned on him that he's reacting to something that he's eating, and he's all clogged and congested. Some people, it'll happen after they do protein, whey protein, or dairy, or eggs. These are all signs of something getting into the body that are triggering a defensive response. So you look for the offending agent. For most people, the offending agent is going to be food. It's unlikely that it's not food. In the case of histamine, respiratory histamine, the offending agent could be things you're breathing for sure. It could be like pollen or mold and that kind of stuff. It could also be acid reflux, which again implies a digestive health issue. Digestive reflux usually occurs if there's like constant throat clearing. It's worse when you're lying down, kind of thing. But it all still boils down to in morning mucus, because you've been lying down for a long time. It all boils down to something that's getting into your body, activating the immune system for both of these people. So what do you do? Again, root not fruit. If you go to the doctor, the lung doctor, the respiratory doctor, or the doctor who's going to check your respiratory tract, he's going to say there's nothing there. It's not, because there isn't anything there. You got to go play that song again, AJ. No, don't play that song. You got to go back to the root, not the fruit. And the root is going to be in the intestine. I'd be doing a food diary. I'd be looking for problem foods that make I'd be looking for flare-ups. Flare-ups are always your best friend, because flare-ups when your symptoms spike. A flare-up gives you real-time information on what you just did. So look for flare-ups. Eliminate problem foods, diary, I-26, ultimate enzymes, all the digestive support. And I think, AJ, we're going to put some digestive support packages together on root not fruit, right? And that'll make it easier.
Already
I think he's already done it.
Already there. And throw in the I don't know if FucoidZ is in there, but that should be part of the digestive support protocol.
He's like, of course it is.
Of course it is. Does that make sense to whoever's asking those questions? Are they on the call?
Not that I'm aware of, but
Okay.
those are questions that have been sent in to us.
Okay.
So, okay, now we do have a question going back to the thyroid question.
ma'am.
Jerry
Yes,
wants to know what's the best supplements for supporting the system of thyroid.
Rootnotfruit.com, I think it is. I think it's .com.
Rootnotfruit.com.
All the digestive support. Remember, there's a triangle. 3 points in the triangle. Digestion, metabolic, which you can think of like the blood sugar system, and then the HPA or adrenal thyroid axis. The thyroid's the tip of the triangle. You work backwards, starting with the digestive system, digestive support. Metabolic system, sweeties, ultimate selenium, ultimate niacin, ultimate MSM, zinc FX, FucoidZ. These are all nutrients that will support blood sugar in addition to the chromium, vanadium, and the ultimate EFAs that are in the healthy blood sugar pack. And then adrenal glands. The adrenal glands, there are nutrients that are specific for the adrenal glands, but they're general nutrients. Vitamin C is very important for the adrenal glands. Zinc is very important for the adrenal glands. The B vitamins, especially B12, is important for the adrenal glands. But mostly you want to relax the body, and that's where activating the vagus system or the parasympathetic nervous system comes in. And there's lots of ways to do that, but slow, deep breathing is the best way, the quickest way. Muscle relaxation is another good way. Psychological strategies like gratitude and calming, figuring out a way to calm the body down mentally is another way to activate the parasympathetic nervous system. Warm water, either warm water on your face or even on your hands, or immersing yourself in a hot tub or warm bath, warm shower, that will activate the parasympathetic nervous system. Anything that makes you feel really good, like a massage or a warm bath, is going to activate the parasympathetic nervous system.
I think you should be like the Attorney General of, the health authority, the whole health authority. Everybody gets massages.
Everybody gets massages, right? That's what we do. Yeah.
Jacuzzis.
Hot tubs. Yeah, exactly. That's real health. That's what health should be about. It's not about being medicated and having your organs taken out. That's craziness.
No. I agree. It's craziness. If I would have known now, or, when I was 23, then I would have never had have my appendix taken out.
Yeah. Well, you should, every time you do, when you do your videos, you should have a picture of what you used to look like before you got into all the nutrition right in the corner, so people could see. People could see the difference.
I will.
Right?
That's a great.
Isn't that a great idea? Wherever you're on, you should, on the corner, they should have Rebecca from 10 years ago, so they can see the difference, how gorgeous and beautiful, how radiant, how vibrant you are compared to, 15 years ago or 10 years ago before you got into this.
Sick and miserable. Yes. I'm going to do that.
Okay, good. That's a great visual.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's go to the next question. There's so many of them. I don't know which way to go. So
go to someone that has a person attached, a real person, so we can.
A person attached.
Yeah.
All right.
If you have.
Well, we've got Yasina here with her hand up. And put your hand up. So let's go to Asina. And Asina, please unmute yourself.
Thank you. I do have a question.
Yes.
My doctor did an exam because I do have nose congestion, ear congestion, quite a bit, and they found out that I had a severe nose deviation, and they want me to have surgery.
Septum is deviated. Yeah.
Yes. So they would like for me to have surgery, and my question is that something that I should do, or is there something that just?
That's a mechanical issue. I can't tell you the answer to that because I don't know how severe it is. It can be severe, and you may need to have a surgical procedure. So I can't tell you that. I need to know more information about the mechanics of your specific condition. However, I will say before and after surgery, there's lots you could do to improve the prognosis, the results of the surgical procedure. And you want to do that. And that's true for all surgical procedures, because when you have a surgical procedure done, it's very rare that the body will not respond to that surgical procedure with scar tissue. And that scar tissue can throw things off for the rest of your life. It's not as bad in this local area, but especially internally when you have surgical procedures done, you want to load up with things like with the healthy bone and joint pack, really. Load up with, I don't think the FucoidZ is in there, but you should throw in the FucoidZ before and after surgery. I can't tell you if the deviated septum is significant enough for surgical procedure. I'm going to assume it is, because your doctors are, they're probably, I'm going to assume that it is. I don't know. They may be wrong. I don't know. But if you have it done before and after, get on the healthy bone, and this is true for everybody listening who's going to be dealing with a surgical procedure, before and after, healthy bone and joint pack, throw in the FucoidZ and throw in the ultimate enzymes. Before and after. Ultimate enzymes on an empty stomach.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Yesenia. Good luck.
All right, thank you so much. Let's go right over to Anne. Anne, what is your question for Pharmacist Ben? Go ahead and unmute.
Hi, Pharmacist Ben.
Hi, Anne.
So this is pertaining to my mother. My mother's 90 years old.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah. And she eats a lot of fiber. And I have read that fiber they use it a lot for weight loss. It says because it slows the emptying of the stomach.
Yeah.
And so I was wondering, how does that affect the gut motility?
Yeah. There's two types of fiber. One type of fiber speeds things up and the other type of fiber slows things down. So I don't know necessarily that the fiber she's taking slows things down. It might speed things up. You've heard the term soluble and insoluble fiber?
Yes.
Okay. So are you saying, do you know what kind of fiber she's taking?
She does like a lot of
Metamucil?
beans and seeds and stuff like that. It's
Okay.
more in her diet. She doesn't
I see.
take a
I see what you're saying.
supplement like that.
Okay. So beans and seeds would be both insoluble and soluble. I wouldn't worry about that, about slowing it up too much. I wouldn't worry about her digestive tract slowing down too much from fiber. More importantly is the digestive tract slowing down neurologically. And this is an extremely common and underappreciated cause of digestive health issues and overall health issues. The gut, the intestine, the digestive tract, we'll say, it is activated neurologically, nerves. If there's any neurological issues, which are very common, or nutritional deficiency issues, which are also very common, that can lead to sluggishness at the level of the intestine, at the level of the digestive tract, and that can be a problem. Is she clogged up? Does she have diarrhea? Do you know? Or I'm sorry, constipation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she takes stuff to try to relieve that.
No, I would consider that to be a neurological issue. It's very common. If she's 90 years old, it's almost 100% guarantee she's got a neurological issue at the age of 90. Get her on something that has a high concentration of vitamin B1, like the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Is she on that already?
She didn't like the taste of it, so I have her on a different supplement.
Well, I have to see what it is to give you advice about that. But I can tell you that the biggest problem people don't like the taste of Beyond Tangy Tangerine is what?
It's because it's too potent.
Too strong, exactly.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I don't know who came up with the directions on here, but they say take two scoops in a glass of water. Of course, she's not going to like the taste of it. That's horrible.
Yeah.
But you could find a place where she does like the taste. Find a good taste. Personally, I like a teaspoon. And I like a teaspoon. And, that's like a fraction. A teaspoon is, a tablespoon is 15 grams. That's half a scoop. And I do it in 16 to 32 ounces of water. That's like a quarter of what they recommend. So find a sweet spot. The thiamine, the vitamin B1 is very important for gut motility, and thiamine deficiency is extremely common, particularly for folks who are eating a lot of beans and carbs.
Yeah. Okay. All righty. Yeah.
Right.
And it's funny what you say about neurological issues, because she has anxiety like you cannot believe.
It could all be related. There's the HPA thyroid axis we talked about earlier. There's the gut brain axis. And one of the hidden causes of anxiety and depression and psychological issues are digestive issues.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Anne. Now, Pharmacist Ben, we only have about 10 more minutes.
Okay.
And I'm going to see if Jill can unmute. Jill, can you unmute, please? I know she's got a question for you.
Okay.
Can you hear me? I have headphones on.
Yes.
I'm in the grocery store now.
Hi, Jill.
Go for it, Jill.
I'm back where the first person that you spent a lot of time with when you were talking about
Thyroid?
Yes. And I was just saying, if somebody, because you were addressing the blood sugar issue, you were all around it, but you didn't mention the GLP-1. And of course, it's because that particular lady.
Hang on one second. I didn't quite understand that. So I mentioned the blood sugar issue, but I didn't mention GLP-1, you said?
I'm just asking specifically about the GLP-1 in that scenario, not for this woman, but for somebody else who's dealing with thyroid issues.
Tell me, what's the question specifically?
Well, you were recommending the blood sugar, that they deal with the blood sugar. And I said, well, our natural form of the GLP-1 would also.
Oh, you mean the GLP-1 product? The GLP-1 product?
Our natural one that Longevity has would also deal with the blood sugar issue for someone, as long as they, it wasn't a problem for them to lose weight. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mentioned the sweeties, but I didn't mention the support bundle, the GLP-1 support
Correct.
bundle. Yeah.
Correct.
That's only because I haven't
In
really
her
dived.
case,
Yeah, I haven't
yeah.
really dived into that. The GLP-1 support bundle is supposed to support your own GLP-1. And GLP-1 is more about fullness. The reason GLP-1 works is because it's an appetite the drugs work is because they're appetite suppressants. They affect the way the body perceives satiety and satisfaction. They increase satisfaction. So the GLP-1 support bundle isn't necessarily directly for blood sugar. It's for providing a sense of fullness and basic nutrients while you're low because you're not going to be eating as much. You follow me? It's not like directly about blood sugar. It's more like about appetite and sugar intake than it is about controlling the metabolic system. Although, as I understand it, sweeties, and correct me if I'm wrong, Becca, sweeties is part of that, isn't it? The GLP-1 product?
Right? No, but it does have
nutrients.
It has the chromium in it and the
Yes.
cinnamon, not vanadium, I think, or maybe it's the other way around.
I thought it had the sweeties. It doesn't have the sweeties in there?
It has some of the same things. Yes,
Yeah,
it
I
does.
think
It has some of the same things.
No. Does it have?
He even said that.
Does it have the SweetEase product in the bundle?
No.
No? Okay. I thought it did.
No.
Okay. So then, and I don't know. I really don't know enough about it, but my understanding of the GLP-1 activator bundle, they call it, and the support bundle is they don't necessarily directly help blood sugar with the exception of the SweetEase. SweetEase does help you with blood sugar. That's what that chromium, vanadium, and also I think there's is it berberine? What's the third? There's an herb in there. I forgot what that was.
Berberine is in there. Yes.
It is berberine. Yeah, those are all going to affect GLP-1 release, natural GLP-1 release, and they'll also help you with your blood sugar. But the rise and the restore and the immortalium, which are all part of the system, as I understand it, those are more for overall health as well as for promoting a feeling of fullness and giving you energy and managing your appetite. They call it the activator bundle.
All right. Yes, there is the activator bundle.
He's talking about the other one. Yeah, right.
The other one.
And I didn't mention the GLP-1 because it's not, I didn't mention the activator bundle or the 30-day system or the support bundle. And I think that was your question because I don't know enough about them.
All righty. Thank you, Pharmacist Ben.
Thank you, Joe.
All right, Pharmacist Ben, let's go over to Jim.
AJ,
Jim,
let's get AJ. AJ has a question. AJ, did you want to say something?
I had a question, but Becca's got Jim.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Jim.
How you doing, Dr. Fuchs?
I'm good. Pharmacist.
Ben, sorry. Yeah, you're good, though. I'm thinking of Dr. Wallach. Okay. My wife has had a persistent HPV virus, and it's scary.
Yes.
We keep thinking it's going to go away because it says, my research shows it will, but I don't know if she has a compromised immune system. I've had her on lion's mane.
Lion's mane is not going to touch a compromised immune system. As much as I love my herbs, go out, I pick herbs, I tincture herbs. I've been working with herbs for many, many years. That nobody has a lion's mane deficiency. There's no such thing as a lion's mane deficiency disease. Okay, so sorry to my herbalist friends.
That's okay.
Okay, so that's just not how it works. However, there's lots of supplements you can take for the immune system. Anytime you have an infection, whether it's HPV, a human papillomavirus, or it's long COVID, or it's chronic Lyme disease, these are infections that should heal under ordinary circumstances. When they don't heal, when your body does not recover, you want to suspect that there's some kind of load, something that's putting a load on the immune system. It's weighing it down.
Okay.
And the most likely suspect is going to be the digestive system and molecules like histamine that are getting into the blood. So what I would ask you a couple questions. First of all, how old is your wife? How old is she?
64.
Okay. Does she have all her organs?
Yes.
Is she on any medication?
Yes.
What is she on?
Antidepressants like Lexapro.
Okay. What else? That's good. What else?
Well, she's taken a cholesterol med. She's taking an injection. What's that injection?
Okay. Repatha.
Repatha.
Yeah. What else?
She's got 2 antidepressants, I think.
Well, aside from the antidepressants, the cholesterol drug, what else?
I think that's it.
Okay, so she has other health issues. Presumably, they're giving her the Repatha because her cholesterol level's high, I imagine.
Now it's low, but yeah.
Okay, well, the cholesterol level's high. Whenever the cholesterol level's high, you always want to target blood sugar.
Okay.
The main reason for elevated cholesterol, and again, this is fruit, not root. The doctors don't, that's not their job. They're not going to go there. But if you go to the root of cholesterol, elevated cholesterol is blood sugar, or is insulin, really. Insulin and blood sugar are blood sugar is a trigger, a signal, and insulin is a hormone, both of which are associated with revving things up, making things grow, making you move. Think about it from an evolutionary perspective. The only time from an evolutionary perspective where our blood sugar would have been high is when it was summertime. And in the summertime, you're supposed to be growing and building and hunting. And that's when you need to have your system revved up. So the system, the body system, the biological system builds and grows and is revved up when insulin is high and blood sugar is high. The problem is today, we've tricked the body into thinking it's always summertime, even when it's wintertime. And we're always supposed to be building even when we're old, even when we're not working out. So our body is getting these mixed messages. It's getting signals from our food that we're supposed to be building and growing, but we're not in the gym building and growing, or we're not hunting, or we're not farming, or we're not doing all the things we used to do. So consequently, all that building and growing, all the chemistry of building and growing isn't going anywhere. It's not making muscle. It's not making cells. It's not repairing anything. So it just builds up. It turns into body fat and it accumulates in the blood vessels. Now, in addition to that, the reason the blood vessels are so susceptible is because they get a lot of damage, and cholesterol and calcium and plaques formed as Band-Aids to kind of repair the blood vessels. That's the real problem. So what you want to do with your wife is work on the root of the immune issues, and almost always are going to be in the first 2 points in the triangle of disease, which are digestion, digestion, and blood sugar. And that's where I'd be focusing on. And I know,
she gets bloated. I mean, her tummy just won't go down. And when she uses the bathroom, she comes out saying, I'm pain down there. It's
hang on.
Okay.
Did everybody hear what Jim just said? Did everybody hear what Jim just said? It's the root. That's exactly what we're talking about here, Jim.
Okay.
So you're going to the doctor for HPV, you're going to the doctor for cholesterol, you're going to the doctor for depression, but the problem is in the intestine.
It is in the intestine.
100%. It always is anyway. I didn't need you to tell me that she's bloated and she has discomfort when she goes to the bathroom, but that just validates it. It's always that way. Okay. So I would be treating her the same way we treated the last 5 people we just talked to, which is all the digestive support. Go to Root Not Fruit, and there's a whole package, AJ tells me, that's already built for you. And then get the food diary. The reason a food diary is so important is because you can have problems with avocados. Remember what's that gal, Kenyatta? Remember Kenyatta on Monday? She called last week. She had fibroids, but she eats really well because she's a vegetarian. So she eats really well because she's a vegetarian. And then I said, do a food diary anyway. Monday she calls and gets, I had problems with avocados. Well, no kidding. That's why you do a food diary, not lists. You don't want to go by lists. You want to see you want your wife to see what her particular battles are, what her problems are. And we have a free food diary for you, Jim, at criticalhealthnews.com. And then at Root Not Fruit, all the digestive support. You can go into blood sugar issues, but I would start with off of digestion. That'll give you the most bang for the buck to start. And that will improve our immune system as well.
Root Not Fruit.
Rootnotfruit.com.
Oh, okay. And
is that right, AJ? Rootnotfruit.com. The food diary is at Critical Health News.
rootnotfruit.com.
Okay. Thank you. And then the food diary is at Critical Health News. Criticalhealth.com.
Criticalhealthnews.com.
Okay.
All right.
And call us back. Come back next week or the week after. Let us know.
How will that affect the HPV? That's the scary thing.
Yeah. Well, you can't do anything about HPV directly. but you could strengthen the immune system so your body can take care of the HPV.
Okay.
Viruses are very, very tricky because a virus is not alive. And because it's not alive, you can't kill it. You follow me?
Yes.
So there's not really a lot of great antiviral medicines because there's nothing you can kill. It's not alive. They have some things they use to take care of the enzymes, but they're notoriously ineffective. Work on the immune system. That's the best thing you can do. Okay.
All right. I appreciate it a whole bunch. Thanks so
Thank
much,
you, Jim.
Becca.
Thank you, Jim. All right, AJ.
Okay, Ben, I got so many things going on here. By the way, Jim, make sure you call 855-949-3377 so we can walk you through. Somebody on Becca's team will walk you through that. Everything that Ben said, you're not alone. You don't have to be alone. And Pharmacist Ben,
yes,
I have tons of questions. Antoinette, who is in the chat, we may not have time to get to you today, but you have a direct line to us on Monday nights at 9 p.m. Pharmacist Ben, I have a question from a gentleman who's asking about tinnitus.
Tinnitus.
I have an issue with tinnitus and wonder if you have any advice concerning treatment.
I'm going to let you answer that. Root, not fruit.
I was wondering if that was going to be,
of course it is,
some of the answer.
Of course it is. Have you ever heard of anybody having taken medicine and all of a sudden their tinnitus went away? No, never happened. Have you ever heard of anything a doctor doing to make your tinnitus go away? No, never happened, ever. They
Besides
can't do anything.
Dr. Wallach?
No, I'm not talking about Dr. Wallach. I'm talking about a medical doctor who gives you prescriptions or does surgery.
Absolutely.
No, they can't do anything. Why? Because it's the root, not the fruit. Tinnitus, unless you got hit in the head, or had an explosion or you have some damage, which is, that can happen. But that's not most cases of tinnitus. Most cases of tinnitus are degenerative. They get worse over time. Do little babies have tinnitus? No. Do teenagers have tinnitus?
Not
no.
Typically.
No. Do young adults have tinnitus? No. It's degenerative. It gets worse with time. And most people have tinnitus are older. Why? Because it's a degenerative condition where the body just reaches a critical mass of inflammation and degeneration. And so what do? You work backwards. Triangle of disease. Root, not fruit. Digestive system, blood sugar system. And then if you really want to go all out, the HPA thyroid axis, by calming the body down, activating the vagus nerve through breathing and warm water and gratitude and massages and all the things we talk about all the time for relaxing the body.
Pharmacist Ben, what do you think about Debbie Changes Lives, which everybody should check out on YouTube?
I'll be on that show, I think.
Are you really? You're going on Debbie Changes Lives on YouTube?
I'm pretty sure. Is Debbie here?
Well, Debbie is on YouTube, but be sure to check out Debbie Changes Lives on YouTube. And what do you think about red yeast rice instead of statins? She prefers DFAs.
It's silly. There's some natural lovastatin. The chemical in statin drugs is found in red yeast rice, but that's not the problem. It's more you don't need to be medicated, even if it's an herb. You need to lower your blood sugar. Remember, cholesterol is your friend. The reason cholesterol levels go up is because your body's been tricked into thinking it's supposed to be building. So red yeast rice isn't going to hurt you, but it's not going to change your life either. Niacin, if you really want an alternative to statins, niacin is probably the best. And how does niacin work? It works with blood sugar.
Well,
I got a bolt here.
Monday night, Pharmacist Ben?
Anybody who did not get their questions answered, we will answer them on Monday night.
Don't fix the fruit, fix the root. Yeah, don't fix the fruit, fix the root.
We can have the co-host come up as a song is playing. Thank you so much, Pharmacist Ben, for joining us here on Friday, Pharmacist Friday here on Daily with Doc and Becca. And we will definitely see you Monday on Pharmacist Ben Bites with Coach AJ. Folks, you want to make sure you go to dailywithdoc.com, get signed up for the newsletter so that you get notifications right in your email box. Inboxes, yes. Inbox as to what's happening and when with our amazing crew here. Thank you so much, Pharmacist Ben. Have a fantastic weekend.
Bye, everybody.
And folks, I just want to thank you for investing this hour into your own health and wellness, grabbing information that you can actually put into action in helping your body reach its optimal best. So again, we've got dailywithdoc.com, which has replays of our programming and additional articles to help you find a better health journey. AJ has helped us create some amazing websites that, one, talk about the triangle of disease, and that's triangleofdisease.com all together, that goes through and explains more about Pharmacist Ben's philosophy. It's not just a philosophy, folks. It's the mechanics of how disease happens. So triangleofdisease.com. And then we also have Root Not Fruit, where we're talking more about the digestive system and how we need to really look at what is causing what's happening. And most of the time, it has to do with what your body is not absorbing because of what is going in. So make sure you check out all of those websites. And yeah, such a great show, great information on some of the things that happen to so many people, even some new things that we talked about today, where we may not be able to fix the actual issue, but the body can do amazing things when you build the immune system. And that's all I got to say about that. So thank you so much. As we have with us today, Marilyn, who's doing a fantastic job in the chat. Thank you, Marilyn. We also have Phyllis, who's adding into the chat and also watching the different platforms for questions. Thank you, Phyllis. We have Ruth Ellen Sanchez, my executive production manager, who is taking the stream, putting it on another computer, adding the graphics, pushing it out to all of the different platforms, and keeping an eye on it to make sure nothing happens wrong. So thank you so much, Ruth Ellen, for all that you do there. We have Albert, who's letting people in, as he is our gatekeeper here on Daily with Doc, at least the Zoom part. And then, folks, if you want to get access, you must register now at zoom.dailywithdoc.com. Again, that's Zoom, ZOOM, dailywithdoc.com, and register so you can get access to our live programming, which is Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 12 to 1 Pacific, 1 to 2 Mountain, 2 to 3 Central, and 3 to 4 Eastern, and beyond. You can figure it out, especially if you're watching Zoom, you're on the internet, use your browser or your favorite search engine. So, and last but not least, we have AJ, who is our digital marketing director and doing just a fantastic job in helping us get the word out on what you can do as an empowered individual right where you're at. Is that's what we're doing. We're meeting people where they're at, whether it's on YouTube or Facebook or Spotify or Rumble or Brighteon or X or Instagram or, oh, I have the whole list here, but it's buried right now. So folks, make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you share this information with somebody else. That's why we do it. We want to help individuals and communities find a better health journey. My name is Becca Dukes. As a certified holistic health coach, a certified naturopathic practitioner, and also the director of student services for the Institute of Holistic Health and the producer of this show. My heart is to help others. And that's why we do this. So if you have a heart for others and helping them create a better health journey as well, and it's more than just health. We're looking at the holistic view. That includes health and wellness and mental, physical, spiritual. Join our team or get back with a person that shared this program with you, as they may also have a team. You can find out more information about the Certified Holistic Health Coach course at coach.dailywithdoc.com or coachwithiwh.com. Again, that's coachwithiwh.com. So folks, have a fantastic weekend. Again, our call team is available for those not working with somebody at 855-949-3377, 855-949-3377. Until next time, bye for now.
This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We're honored to continue and share the teachings of the founding father of science of epigenetics, Dr. Joel Wallach. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. Statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We're honored to continue and share the teachings of the founding father of science of epigenetics, Dr. Joel Wallach.